Just to throw another quote, it's a Buddhist quote, and when you find your person, and we can get into like, is there like your person? Is there only one person? But when you find your person or someone that is a proper match, your soul is at peace. Like you don't feel those butterflies and all of that crazy anxiety or excitement. It's just like, oh, I found you. And I don't know, it could just be, my own confirmation bias. But when I met my husband, it was unlike anyone else that I had met. It was that just there was no anxiety. I was just like, "Oh, there you are," kind of a thing. And I even told my girlfriends from the very beginning, I was like, this is the guy I'm gonna marry." And they're like, "No, you just got out of a relationship. This is clearly gonna be a rebound." And I was like, it feels different. Like, I just feels different. And he's just kind of that's been the theme of our relationship, is just providing that certainty for me. So I don't know if it's confirmation bias. I don't know if you've experienced that with your relationships, if you find more of like this peaceful energy with some people versus that anxiety, because there was never this, is he going to text me, am I going to text him? Like he always made the first move, and I never was worried, or am I playing this game, wait 3 days, whatever this is. I have girlfriends now that are like, do I text back? I was like, yes, text back. You want to see him, you want to talk, just text. If you're waiting, then he's going to wait, and then you guys create this weird chick game of chicken, and no one knows how the other person feels. And then if he's turned off because you show interest, that means he's not interested.
Yeah, you literally you perpetuate the exact pattern that you're trying to eradicate, that you
Mhm.
say you don't want. And it's a crazy thing, because we do bring on the thing we don't want by doing that. It's almost like you have to intercept that and say, no, I'm gonna go at a pace that feels right to me. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to reach out to someone and tell them to have a great day today if I feel like doing that. And I'm not going to sit there constantly fearing, are they going to meet me there or not?
Mhm.
It's almost like you have to have that it's a standard, right? It's a standard. The same way, like kindness and generosity is a standard. It doesn't go out of the window simply because you come across someone today that's in a bad place, or they're moody with you. You don't if you suddenly become a different person, then it wasn't a standard that you had.
Mm.
And in dating, it has to be a standard. Now, the important thing about that is that if you notice that someone isn't meeting you at your standard for communication, then you can decide to move away from that person. But you don't change. I remember once I was living in New York at the time, and me and a friend of mine, we invited someone to dinner who we both liked, but they were a bit of an acquaintance at the time. They weren't, I wouldn't necessarily call them a friend, but we were like, it would be fun to bring them more into the circle. And I remember it was like 10 minutes before the dinner, this person, in a what felt like a very rude way, just sort of said, "Hey, sorry guys, I can't actually make it tonight. I'll have to see you another time." And never said sorry, never really, never like, didn't say sorry that you had arranged this whole thing. And it was immediately this behavior that got my back up. And my friend who was sitting next to me, she said to me at the time something that always stuck with me. She said, "Don't like you don't worry about it. Don't get angry. We just know where to put that person."
Mhm.
And that that was like a standard. It wasn't, you know, this person did something to upset us, and now there's all this energy behind how we feel. And no, it's just, oh, okay, we tried to reach out to this person and bring them into our circle and connect with them and form a deeper relationship. And this person very flippantly sort of bailed at the last minute and never apologized for it. We just know where to put them now. That's okay.
Mhm.
It wasn't vindictive. It was just, oh, arm's length.
Mhm.
And we have to start seeing people in dating like that. Instead of, we have a standard and then they don't meet that standard, and then we say, what else could I do to get them to meet this standard? Or what? life is much easier if you accept where people are in their process, in their journey, where they are in life, what phase they're in, what they want right now. And you just go, oh, okay, well, this is my standard. They're not meeting me there. So I'm gonna pull back. And that person may now come to you and say, hey, why'd you pull back? Like, I want to see you this Saturday.
Mhm.
And at that point, you have the right to explain why you pulled back. Well, I was really excited to see you, and I felt like I was kind of texting you and stuff, but I didn't really feel like you were there with me, and made me it made me withdraw, if I'm honest. There's no games about that. It's just this is what I was prepared to give in that moment. I thought it seemed to me you weren't prepared to give the same. A nice phrase to use, by the way, is rightly or wrongly. You can say rightly or wrongly. It felt like you weren't in the same place as me.